King Painter, Wagwan, Nation.
I don't want to come in any line.
Huh?
Oh my.
All right. So as I say now, it is still under restriction. I don't know why. I change the mad puss piece, so them not drink that anymore. So
yeah, I said Chuck put 21 and older on the thing.
I say, I don't know if we put up the 21 and older tag, you know.
Next time you come up in the box, come and put up the 21 and older there.
Alright.
You know, say I feel duty that, you know.
It's in effects. Alright, I'm going to go in effects and see how we get it.
And top part, when you go in there, look with sticker. They look with sticker.
Okay. Looking for it. 21 and over. Yeah. Hold on, me people. I am coming back to you. I am coming back. Sorry, looking for it. $21 and over.
You click on the sticker and then you type in it up.
Okay, I see.
Oh.
There you go. I think I've made one. Okay, let me do with it. Alright. I think I just got it. Let me make one, but I think my dash you were too far.
That's crazy.
Let me try Andy, but I don't know why you think every time you come up you jump off.
Front door. More than the front door. I'm ready here. Okay.
Yeah, man, I find it now, man. I find it.
And then bend up, and anytime I come, watch that man here. Yes, reverse, by the way. Reverse, go right down. I have enough to drive car, you know. That's right. Why the PNP, them against GLP, them are one bomb clot. Man, report the blood clot live, that's the man. The man report the youth live, so it's freeze up. But I don't know what I try to get the live because you see, you don't know that guy on TikTok. You're not TikTok bro, like me. Big man, all the while people page. You have a record that come up. Remember if you can't find that. I'm not sure you will come up on your page.
I mean, everyone have played their flag and go on themselves. So why report the next man here?
Alright, there you go. I think I have it set here now. My people. There you go.
Take you out of my boss side, man. Sure.
Eh?
Take you out of my boss side.
Oh, well, I say I can move it around. No, the last time I try to move it in the middle, like where go.
Keep on this, alright.
Yeah. But alright, it's up here now. But now say people, sorry about that. As me said, the restriction.
Somebody report the live, Chuck. I saw them see.
They go and report, you know.
Anybody can report. Them report it.
Right. Them are got tired to see with face, man. They can't get out of the race.
Remember, you know, they not nothing for campaign pan them they are dead, them not ready for the right, you know, so them are run around and do all kind of foolishness. You understand?
We are gonna have the Misha Lewis.
Chuck,
Yes, Keisha.
Chuck,
Yes, Keisha, I hear you.
you see the clip of me just sent a little while ago? You say if you see the clip of me just sent a little while ago?
Now, where you send it, Pan?
Me send it to you a little while ago.
Oh, Pan.
Me share it with you.
All right, let me go check it. Give me a sec, let me check Pan it there. Right, but as we say, we have to try make the young people them.
All also show more the post up in agree.
The young people them who this are gonna be them first outing. You have only for them, you know, this are gonna be them first outing. This are gonna be them first outing. And them have to understand, say, elections have consequences. Right? We pay the consequences for the 1989 election. With the Jamaica Labour Party, after stellar performance in government, a stellar 8 years, just like this one, was voted out. And the middle class, suffer. The Prime Minister at the time boasted that under his regime, a greater or a new set of poor was created. Now I say it all the while that I don't know of a government that ever boasts about creating poverty. But this, the People's National Party did it. They boast that during the 90s, and they did, because what they did was they literally wiped out the middle class. They decimated the middle class of this country. So that now you could have a man who tell you, say, him no come for scrape, I'm rich, him a big top lawyer, him a big top investment. You were no investment banker. What you did was something that Dr. Carl Blythe, a senior member of the People's National Party, a former minister of water, said that you all should be investigated for insider trading. I know me say it, you know, Carl Blythe. Carl say you all should be investigated for insider trading. Because not even Carl Blythe was spared on a rat. Or they know a tear through Jamaica. Or they know a collect property. And uno coming now to look at and talk about uno no come for scrape. Uno rich already. How uno get rich? How? Tell me how uno get rich. Uno get rich off the back of the Jamaican people. Uno get rich off of people like Valerie Dixon, people like Meshach Willis. So uno get rich. Right? That's how uno get rich. And me tell you, say, anytime uno come, Mr. Fake User, come up and tell me. Come up here, so don't stay in the chat. Come up and tell me a request and come up and tell me where Andrew thief. Please. That's why me always challenge you to do, you know. And me go mute you shortly. Come up and tell me. Me go no the chance, you know. Cause me like to rubbish you no claim in a public. Come up and tell me where Andrew thief. Mark Golding and Peter Bunting rob this country. Billions of dollars they take from us. They decimate the middle class. Them literally kill the entrepreneurial spirit of Jamaica. And uno come now, me tell you, you know. Young people, if you give them the chance, them are going to pick the first shiny thing will come along. The first shiny thing will come along, them are going to pick it. And that is Uno with Mark Golding. The first shiny thing will come along. Keisha, mute your background noise, me hear your fan. The first shiny thing will come along, and that is Mark Golden in shiny. Doza, put a bull on your name there for me, please. Me nah no time for you teach you. Listen, you see all of who come and ask about business, all of who come and ask about Andrew business, teach me one thing. Say, uno don't read. Not one of uno has taken the time to take up the Integrity Commission report and read it. None of uno. And we prove that based on the question uno come ask. Anyone who no come read, we actually sit down and read the report and want to have a discussion about what is in it. I am open to it, you know. But all I want to prove one thing to me. Uno, is either uno can't read or uno don't read. So when uno come now, I think say, did you know about all these companies? Let me do my best to break down something for uno. In 2018, 2019, it was discovered that Andrew have a company overseas that he had his estate planning instrument in. That means that company owns his house and all them something there. It was overseas. The argument then was, as Prime Minister, you can't have them something overseas. The Prime Minister agreed and said, okay, let me lock down this company and move them back to Jamaica. And that the Prime Minister did. He locked down his company and he moved them to Jamaica. Because as the Prime Minister, they were correct at the time, we say, if you have these overseas, it don't look good. So he brought them home. No. Every single dollar where Mark Golden own is in an account in the British Virgin Islands. Mark Golden don't think that Jamaica good enough to keep him money. Because guess what? Him know the plan. Him know it. Him know so when them come, let me see who is big man. I don't think I've had. Andrew must be charged. Go charge your mama. Go charge your mama and lo Andrew alone. And that you feel like
a change.
I know charge that in a truck, a change.
A change. They say can't spell. You can't spell your truck, so they make sense to argue with him.
We don't know what that means.
He can't read. And he can't write. So you don't argue with him, truck, a waste of time. You go back to kindergarten. You need to go back to kindergarten.
Bless up yourself, Muncha. Them fight the farm a while longer, but we get out tight. Tell them again to me there. Right? You know, make me apologize. Me get a call from one lady yesterday who tell me, say, me must make them jar me out for me cuss them. And me tell her, say, me I go try. So, me have to apologize to her. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you go steal the cost. You can't stand there.
Yes, but she said me not to make them jar me out. Say leave them alone because them are regular. She said stay on the message. And I promised her I would. So me get rid of her. Right? Me not pay her anymore mind. But the Prime Minister decides to listen to me now. I agree with the people that if I am going to be Prime Minister, I must not have this company overseas. So he closed down the one in St. Lucia and brought it home. Now, when it was in St. Lucia, it was registered as ADMAT, name after his two sons, Adam and Matthew. And when they bring it home now, in order to bring it home, they had to start a company to bring home the assets. So he started it at the next company, bring home the assets and put them in it. Now, all persons who do business, including Mark Golden, knows that these things are standard operating procedures.
Hold on there, Chuck. You wait a little bit. Who did tell you say Mark Golden do business? You know, since you catch up, Mark Golding catch up side of some businessman, brother.
No, Mark Golding do business. Mark Golding do business. Mark Golding is a financial engineer.
Jesus, please. No.
And me give the title, him take it. Mark G is a financial engineer.
And a thief.
And a thief. And a damn thief.
Thief, correct.
Right? Big man. Let me hear from the big man. I don't think I've ever had big man here before. Let me hear him views.
Boy, I listen to you, I'm just coming.
No, man, what an all-time problem. I talk about big man there. Big man there, right. They're in the box below. I'm more here.
Okay, all right.
Go on, big man.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
We have 100,000 people who have been displaced.
Big man, you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what you say now? You listen to it?
Yes, I listen to you.
Explain that to our viewers.
All right, my boss. You can, all right, go and listen from down in the floor there, here.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, we have to try to get the message out to these people that when they had the power, and as I can't repeat it enough, you know, when they caused the devastation of Finsack, they had the years of power. They never have the true power.
So it's a war zone.
WCW, you don't know, say Munchi has been back for the last 2 weeks. What do you mean ready for them again? Munchi, they rode long time.
Munchi, I go too late tonight. Me can't bother with Munchi. Munchi, I go too late. Me how much hour ahead of Jamaica. Munchi, me can't bother. You have to do better than that. Go earlier.
You know, see, say one man named 7 Up have Munchi attack about for more than 2 hours upon his life.
Yeah.
Chuck, why you make some check for me? It's because my mother asks and me try reach out to Philippine and me send her a message just now and she not reply. Why you make 2 checks for me? Why know who are on a Southeast Saint Anne because me not really understand what I go on. And
Southeast Saint Anne is overseas.
Where Lisa Anna did there.
Lisa Anna. Shit, there's a boy, I don't remember the guy name, you know. We get him name. I was just talking about it the other day.
Damian Hiloxi.
Damian Hiloxi. That's the guy. Thank you, Nathaniel.
Who can reach out to him? Because my mother, you know, Chuck, my mother work for the, she's a delegate, right? Yeah. And she work for from she a 16-year-old and she a big old woman, you know, how much I must see age group and then something there. And then just, me not understand what I go on. She not hear from them, she not see them, she not know.
Well, all right, let me do some checks and get back to you. Let me do some checks. Just send me a message and remind me.
Mario, you can link info supposed to have your number, contact him, you know. They can check info.
All right.
Yeah. May I see if I find out for info?
Yeah, link info.
Yeah,
but as we say, the campaign.
From Gaza, and there have been over 45,000 lives.
Let me ask you this: yes, let me tell you this, and let me try to tell you this in the nicest possible way, Mr. User Man. If your mama and your papa never damn workless, you would have 28 account too.
Damn right.
So your mama and your papa did workless. Oh no, stop bad mind the people and for them account. Goodbye.
Bad minded, dirty PMP them.
Bad mind, you know, bad mind people for what them have.
Right.
You know, if you tap it.
Need to continue to pursue.
What your name now? Janet Aarons. Janet Aarons. Click on the box and come tell me what the JLP thief. Please. I want you to come up. Please, come.
Right. You are for here.
Me want to hear. Click on the box, Janet, and come tell me.
If they come on, no, just rush them, so do. No rush them.
We don't want nobody rush. Come, Janet. Janet, to say JLP a thief. Please to click and come up and enlighten us. Please. I'm give the opportunity. Come up and enlighten us, please. Tell us what the JLP did. Come on, please. Do not come here and prove to be one of the idiot them who can read and write. Or one of the idiot them who them give you some. Every time you come type that in a one try to get some credit, not true. Right? That's what you get some credit.
You know, so if you get your delay and text in our box, and now so nothing now come up in the now come up, you know we are gonna send you where you're supposed
We're gonna
to
send you where. Let me give Janet, let me say me can give you something. If the Jamaica Labour Party are thief, and we are still able to construct 4 hospitals, right? Numerous amount of highway.
And clinic.
And clinic. 6 over 150 police stations.
Fire station too.
And fire station.
Market it.
Fix the market them.
Give away more than 300 residents.
Give away over 350 houses to the poor.
Save 40% site-wide. I still have to surf.
Buy 6-7 boat for the Coast Guard, 4 helicopter for the JCF, over 1,000 vehicles for the JCF. Give the public sector the highest increase they ever got in their history.
How much bus for JUTC? How much garbage?
100 bus for JUTC, 50 vehicles for the garbage, for the solid waste.
170 new JUTC.
And I build the best perimeter road ever.
Right. Building out the road.
With $100
billion.
Remember, say 100 more for come in next year.
200 more for come in.
$1,300 police units.
We're talking about what we get already.
And build tourist ship to Port Royal.
Bring tourists to Port Royal. 100 users. Listen to me. This is who not me telling you say who is a set of drunker.
High-speed boats to patrol the waters around Jamaica.
Yes.
Remember the Falmouth port?
No, the Falmouth one was built under Bruce Golding.
Yeah, man, a Fiwi project.
Right. I'm talking everything I've mentioned is in the last 8 years.
That is it.
Everything I've mentioned is in the last 8 years. So if the JLP thief has to say and is still able to invest that amount of tax dollars in the country, again I will ask this question. What was the PMP doing with your tax dollar for 18.5 years?
PMP did rape Jamaica and Jamaicans, that's all they did.
Right? If you not be fierce enough to come say the government will invest the most in our infrastructure, in our human development, you know say them a thief, then ask yourself this question. What did the PMP do with 18.5 years of your tax dollars? Please, you come answer me that. Janet, come answer me that, Janet, please.
All them focus on the man bank account.
Because the PMP are a set of bad-minded people. They don't like see when you don't have nothing. Wow. That's why them telling us they love poor. And them take up a set of idiots and dunce. To come on social media, come type thief. I don't know, so they must ask what them thief.
And give them $5,000 curry goat and 1 red stripe beer.
Janet, make Janet come back. Janet needs to come and tell me what the JLP thief.
Correct.
And if the JLP thief and still managed to do so much, what did the PMP do with 18 years of taxation on the Jamaican people? It's a simple question. It's not a difficult question, you know.
True.
A week now me ask and not one comrade is able to answer that question.
They can't answer.
But yet if I need easier to come and say, the government will say, not only me want you go hard, go get a skill, but I will pay you to go get that skill. Not only me want you get the skill, but when you get the skill, me I go invest in you and the skill. Me I go give you a grant to start your business. That is the government when you accuse every day. And again, I am asking, ask the question, what did the People's National Party who said they love the poor do?
That's it. What them do?
Right. 617 young persons collect them scholarship and gone to university to study public health. free on the government's dime and your tax dollars.
Chuck.
Yes, sir.
The people, National Party, where they say love the poor. You see? I'm going to tell you how much they love the poor. By creating the most massive transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich.
Not my words. I ran it
So they love the poor.
Yes, by creating more poor.
They love the poor. So they don't love the poor. They don't want the poor to be nothing. So they have to go take what the little poor have.
For all of young people, I'm telling you something. I want to picture this. All of the hotels and property from Ochireas go right to Negril used to be owned and operated by Jamaicans. All of those used to be owned and operated by Jamaicans. It is the People's National Party that destroy those people. Take away them property and sell it. Meshach Willis told us on Sunday. I've always said it. And Meshach, I want to repeat what Meshach said. When it was going on, a group of them got together and make an offer to the government of Jamaica. Say, please, sell us back the assets that is now owned by the Jamaica redevelopment thing. And they offered to buy it for 75 cents on the dollar. That offer was refused. And it was then sold to a Texan billionaire for 30 cents on the dollar. And the hurtful part has come to Meshach Williams is that up until this day, him don't know where him stand. Meshach said if him win the lotto tomorrow morning, Finsack might come knock on him door and say you still owe me. Because these people problems were not resolved, no sign off and no stamp.
It's just more stuff.
I believe that after next week, the next person that will come on will be Godfrey Dyer. Who don't hear Godfrey Dyer's story? Who say him borrow 15 million, pay back 45 million, and still owe $150 million. Let me say it again, Alan. He borrowed $15 million to improve his property, paid back 45, and still owed $150 million, and his property was taken away.
No, then Chuck. You have to tell me whether or not this somebody will do that if in their prison, man.
Somebody will do that. The magistrate of that is running to be the Prime Minister of Jamaica. The financial engineer that planned and execute that plan is running to be the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Thank you, Julian. Right? That is what we face with today. Right? People like Meshach Williams, like Valerie Dixon, like Godfrey Dyer. We are going to keep them story on the front line.
Keep it going.
Yes, we are going to keep them story on the front line because guess what? Them story is important. It is a proof that the People's National Party was never, well, I'm not going to say never. The present leadership of that party must never take the reins of Jamaica power again. They must never be allowed to do it.
I want to talk about, you must talk about Melissa too. Or them kill woman and say that I don't know the funeral home, then fire the 3 shot in our pussy. PMP has spread it. What look into it?
Well, as we said, we believe in a justice.
Analyze, not kill, analyze.
We believe in a justice for Melissa Sylvia right now.
Yes, we need to talk about the PMP.
We believe in a justice for Maxine Simpson too.
Yeah. You see them hide it. Push it under the carpet. But let the Jamaica and the world know they are murderers.
Unknown Gemini. I know you're live this year. Yes, and I no phone live this. This is no phone. You no go over J. Brian go swim. I no go over Reedy go get on the cell phone over there. So I know you're so not go make it. Right? You no go join on the lion team.
You no listen what Cleaner doing, going to fire people who don't believe Andrew one is do wrong. The Gleaner have some propaganda people gotta start. So now have to look into that too. The Gleaner
listen to me. There was a time in this. There was a time in this country, Alden, whereby we used to only get information from North Street and Lindos Road.
Right.
North Street and Lindos Road don't hold that power anymore.
Correct.
Right now they hold the power of propaganda.
With Matalan at the head of it, in the PMP party.
Right. They hold the power of propaganda. Now people have several places to get the news from.
Okay.
Right?
Right. When Monday was
it was those organizations that demonized Edward Philip George Siaga.
Yes.
It was them that tell lies on Siaga in this country.
Correct.
So
can't happen
for them jars that show a long time.
Right.
And not just today.
Right. One thing I like about my Prime Minister, him know for this, him know for take the attention off himself, Cause look at it. Him call the election or the by-election, and while by-election was going on, he was on the country's business in India. Nobody they cuss and quarrel over that, Yeah. You understand?
Man, I look out for Jamaica.
Obviously, they want him to resign and never get the opportunity to go to India on the country's business. So make sure they call the election and distract them with the election.
You know what the great Prime Minister literally do? As it commands to the looking at the IC, you know, notice, you know, so what him do? Carry God the Supreme Court for him go and die fully scrutiny where any Prime Minister can. Which part in Jamaica history have a Prime Minister will put themselves out in the public and say, see me, I don't look for anything we don't want to do.
Good.
Do it, come, do it.
A real leader, that man.
Supreme
That's a man.
Check it. All Vegas me a talk about it, Chuck, you know, see what I go on. The man open up him thing and everybody know what you can come see, guys that go right at the Supreme Court. You understand? A big thing. Right now the PMP that be a problem. Be a problem. They not even know what to do.
That's enough to dig hole.
Damn right. Damn right.
Be careful how you deal with people.
I said this to you people every day,
They tell them, say, if you live in a glass house, don't choose stone, because Nigel Clark know what was coming at them,
Exactly.
Understand me?
I said this to you people every day. The People's National Party have one flip over the year. Is that they do their best to demonize the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party.
That's what the head is about, Then say put the head beside put the X beside the head. And for them head, I vote against our leader. That's what the head represents, Put the X beside the head.
If there's one thing they constantly attack. The People's National Party don't have a head.
Thank you. Our leader, the head is for, so vote against our leader. That's what the head represents.
And again, let me congratulate Isaac Buchanan, who is now the lead lawyer for J-Flag. Congratulations are in order.
So you know where that party is heading to now. You know where that party is heading to.
Exactly where them heading to.
Okay.
But thank you, people. I said this every day. The EMP deals in projection.
Chuck, me don't want somebody you borrow somebody box and put up Ken. Make Ken explain. A lot of people don't know where the PMT.
All right. Let me take a lead. Me don't have to.
Me jump out.
The PM legal team filed a motion at the Supreme Court, right? Where everybody know I'll go through him statutory declaration. Yeah, where the man go through him statutory declaration. The Supreme Court, this are the head, we all know that. And them all go through it page by page, go through all them assets, go through everything. And the man said the IC don't know nothing at all what them do. Every God Almighty thing. the report Chuck have so much error in the report from front page, from page 1 to page 170.
I had a discussion, Mario, with a financial investigator. And the financial investigator said the report would have been better if it was written on a tiled paper because you could have used it. Would have been.
Oh, well, but.
Yes. He said if it was written. Ken, bless up yourself, sir.
Good. Yeah, I heard it on the news. What that Cliff Hughes station. Nationwide. Yesterday, it's 3 of them. The Prime Minister suing him, and then he's taking the ICC to court and it's going before the judicial. So he have to go to Supreme Court. So everything is now going to come out. So it is now running for covers.
Yeah, man. Expose them, man.
Well, as someone was saying again about the report, to be honest with you, that report should be chucked in the bin. It's so much inconsistency, wrong calculation. There's so much, and you see even the bank account that they're talking about. If you check, when you check it out, it's just about 9 accounts, and it's not commercial bank account. It's like shares account, loans account, all these dividend accounts. So if you take a loan from a bank, you have an account there. If you take a mortgage, a different account. So any this transaction. So most of the account that they audit was dormant account that the Prime Minister, mother and father, and one of his constituencies secretary or something like that. So,
Ken, let me tell you something about that report then. The report was released for one single account on it. You know, the only account they wanted in the public.
$730 something US one?
No. The one that says about the transfer from SSL.
Okay, and that
is what they wanted in the public. Take note that about 5 minutes after the report come out, Dayton Campbell have post on TikTok. I thought about what happened with SSL?
But is it Shazy Drought? These people are so ignorant. It surprised me for so much intellectual people around, and they're running havoc with this propaganda. And there's nobody from the PNP finance department or whatever they may call it come out and say nothing. It's just the bloggers.
No, but they know, and they know that they know the PNP know, but then just a follow suit. You understand? Yeah. Because guess what? They want people, they're trying to demonize the Prime Minister so bad where anything, because even when Dana Scott Matley, she knows, and this brother was saying I'm going to try to be finance minister, knows that you can't open an account without $1. And yet still them around like it.
I did it with CIBC the other day. They ask you what type of account you want. What type of account you want? You want to open with $1,000. Yeah.
Then it's strong, break it down, you know.
All right, hey, Chuck, I go through that 411.
That lady 411 and listen to her. She's very good. She break it down the best.
Yeah, because what you have to do when you read the report, you can't just read it right through. You have to go back and reference page to what that one say and etc. etc. And the calculation about the transfers from company to those 3 companies, that's the wrong calculation they did. So,
they did something stupid. I remember we were talking about it, Ken. It's like me now, because as we are talking, and a lot of people, I have 4 accounts at the National Housing Trust. You understand? One person have, and I get a loan from the National Housing Trust to construct my house. Right? And I have 4 accounts there. People are gonna jump on and say, no, you have 4 accounts there. But it's 4 different in the loan, how the loan set up. And these are things that people doesn't understand. No, this is how it works. You understand? Me now, my name Mary and me have a son. So me have a son and his name John, which is my company same way. You understand? I have an ex company. So I have 3 companies. And I take $50 from Mary and put in a John. Right? And that $50 I take from that $50 as well, I take it and put it in the next company.
Yeah,
what the IC did, I add up all of that.
All of them together.
And call it 150. That's what they did. And that's ridiculous.
I have to laugh when I read it, really.
It's really ridiculous.
They know what them do. Them are try to embarrass the Prime Minister.
But they're going to embarrass
right
themselves because this thing now reaching the highest court in the land. Everything is going to come out. Trust me. Those I think it's 3 directors in the lawsuit plus the IC. So we're going to...
Yes. The director of investigation, I forget the other 2 positions.
One is communication.
All of them is have to go answer that lawsuit.
Yeah. So you're going to list his head's going to roll. Trust me. It's going to be embarrassing.
Then we resign and run.
But Chuck, remember when me you talk about last week, Chuck? Chuck, when me you say last week? Let me see if you remember. Talk to me, Chuck. When me you say last week?
Remind me.
In the next few weeks, when you say, well, we say I go happen in the next month.
Yeah. We just say them are going to resign and talk, but them can't work with this government.
I've been saying that a long time. Saying
them are going to resign and say, the government have forced them out.
Of course, yeah. And that's, and Chuck, you see the reason why the IC run the report also, that's one of the reasons. When they sent it to, they know that nothing is not in it, it's just a narrative. And then now when they caught up, they said they're going to send it to the FID. How can you, as an integrity commission, table a report and then you're going to send it back to an inferior body to you after you ask them already? And the TAJ, that doesn't make no sense to me whatsoever. So you see, it's... I think
it's just about keeping it in the news, Ken.
Yeah, spreading the narrative,
Spreading the narrative.
Yeah.
And that is what was important to them.
To them. They didn't care about it.
We have it for 3 years, for 4 years, and we don't have nothing, but we can't afford to come out of the news.
But you know what's going to happen? Now this is going to reach the court. The court are going to ask, why you hold up the man 2 years of statutory declaration for?
And then on the table, once you table it, they should have signed off on it, which is illegal. You understand? All of those stuff.
And another thing, when the forensic auditor did their report, they take bits and pieces from the report and doesn't use a financial expert to compile it and see there is nothing wrong. They just, as lawyers, just compile the report and write shooting it, and the figures are right. So it's going to be a fireworks, trust me. It's going to be.
I looking forward to them in Parliament on Thursday.
But me want to find out if them now go after Palwell, 9 Life, who teach so much money from the government.
The PMP, no business, but all the PMP one who said them alone are thief,
That's true.
Them have a problem with thief, them just one who said them alone. A Mark Golding and Peter Bunting alone for thief.
Correct.
Right? Hello, them alone for thief.
Hey, Chuck. Me say something a while ago. I just I think I heard somebody.
Go down the Churchill, go and clean.
Afternoon, everybody. I just heard somebody say that the fact that it is now in the Supreme Court, maybe they won't have any meeting with it.
No, man. No, they're going to still have it. But remember the Supreme Court or somewhere, it don't just happen overnight, Or something where them are analyze and go through full out from
because it's submit to Parliament already, so therefore there's no gaga or nothing, so they can speak whatsoever they can speak. It's what is in the documents. The Prime Minister is going to sue them because they spear lies, fabrication, and compile a report that is inaccurate, incomplete.
But
that is what them going to court for.
But this is how funny the IC is, guys. Listen out here now. When this man was saying him go and them did shoot when them rob him the money, right? When remember when Greg
man, I said them set it up.
Yeah man, no, we just work with what them say, right?
Okay.
When them rob him the money, remember what Greg Christie came out and said. Greg Christie said, ask the government, or ask no government or something like that.
Right.
Seymour Panton didn't say a word, they didn't say nothing, they didn't reprimand Greg Christie or nothing at all. Right. And all of a sudden this man can come out now and make it seem like me see him put it out in the nasty.
Is that true? Hold on, is that true money? Me not see nothing about that. Money said the IC cancel the meeting saying one of them is not. Well, Money, me not say nothing official about it if it was so. But it wouldn't surprise us.
But Chuck, if the oversight committee call them, they can't cancel it on their own because they are the oversight body for them.
Right.
They did it before.
They have to be there.
No, they were summoned to Parliament already. I didn't turn up.
Chuck.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. Me feel. Good evening, everybody. Me feel say they should not have no meeting Thursday.
Right.
Because remember they were summoned. Well, on man. Remember they were summoned before, and Greg Christie put up him go and boast it for we, you know. Now that he'll be subpoenaed in court.
Yeah.
He can't do that again, you know.
Yeah.
Me would have tell him say no bother have no meeting Thursday.
No man, we need to tear them up.
No man, me see it not gonna help man, then can do the same thing and go silent, man. Like what Greg Christie did the other day, man. When time in a court, he have to answer question.
Well, you know, it's if they're going to court, I don't think it would make sense to come in Parliament and say anything, since they will be going under oath in court.
Right,
you know,
and not only that, sorry to interrupt, but they will then define who is their boss in court. You can define in a Parliament and then can shut up same way. But when time them boss.
Hold on there. Chuck, one brother up there send him Jaden in there about an hour now. Check him out there.
Jaden, alright, man.
So anyway, yeah, I don't think it would make sense for them to come before Parliament. However, what they should have in the Integrity Commission Act is that when Parliament tell them to come before them, there should be no way they can back out of it.
Right.
That should be in the act.
Yeah, but Greg Christie came and Greg Christie went silent and went and acted disrespectful. So even if you carry them go there, then can go do the same thing.
No,
that
but I'm saying
to me.
The act, they should have in the act where they have to answer questions. You can't just stay silent, or they should be subjected to be kicked off the commission.
Correct.
Well, as I'm concerned, no one is above the law.
Meeting cancel for true.
It can't.
Yes.
Yeah, man, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's on nationwide.
Yeah, man, it makes sense. If they're gonna go in front of court, then can't compound something they can't say anything.
Boy, man, I don't want me to tear them up.
Show labor rights time come, man, and the delusion on the backside. The delusion. But stop mislead the people them of Jamaica. Stop telling lie.
But you know what? I want to say something, guys. I hear that not the report, but the data from the FinSac Commission is going to be released instead of a summary of report.
Man, it's not going to be a report. It won't be a report anymore. It will be a detail. It will be more like a book.
Right.
Like a hearing.
You know, it would be good if somebody can actually dive into it and draw a line between what FinSac did to DB and G. That will be something we want to pull out of that.
Mark Golindo and Peter Bunting.
You understand?
Hello, sorry to interrupt.
We hear all kind of anecdote about how they benefited and all that. But somebody need to dig into it and show that straight line from that to those actors. That would be good to get out of it.
You want to
ask a question?
I wanted to say something, even though it's a digital. Go ahead, Marcel.
Yeah, I thought it was just he was asking for a judicial review, not a lawsuit.
It's not a lawsuit. You can't sue the IC.
Correct. It's a judicial review of the decision that they came to and why they did not certify the 2021. Because if they had that information to say there was nothing to uphold that declaration, why did they not certify it? So I think they will be still.
They'll be on the oath. They will be still on the oath.
No, but it's not. They're not going to court. They're not going to court. The IC not going to court. The court is gonna review. So they will have their own accountants or auditors who will take a look to see what went wrong. That's what I'm gathering from what was said.
But then they'll subpoena them to answer questions.
No, but no. But that is after. So they will review it, and if there's any question to be asked, I'm just saying. Because a judicial review is a review of a decision that was made. So if there's any question to be asked, then I think that they would call them then to discuss it with them behind closed door. I don't know. I could be wrong about it.
Well, but Chuck, you can ask Bernard Charles.
If you present when you review one, because them write the paper. Sometimes I go to him and you tell me all this.
No, they can't be present at the review because the court will have to bring in their own auditors or whoever to look at the report, how they came to that decision. So they can't be present there at first. They will look at it first. If they're correct in their decision, then the court will tell the Prime Minister that they were correct in what decision they came to. If they're not correct, then there would be another process.
Marcia, it is more than that because there's a direct link to one person being like curry favor. Yeah, so how they're going to reach that point.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If they discover, so upon review of it, if they discover that whatever curry favor, as you call it, or any error on their part, then they will call them in now to discuss it, to say how you come to this decision. So I don't think they will be at the court for the judicial review. It's the court will do that first.
Not a problem.
I want the Prime Minister telling the court right now that the judicial review alone, you know. This poor bank account them too. We need to go back and listen to the news. I think the Prime Minister bring them back court for.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Nathaniel. Is if she listening to the thing.
Not just the judicial review alone, Master. There's a lot more to it. You need to go back and listen to nationwide news.
To the three directors, there's
a lot more to it. But they have to go court for answer to
30.
Oh, I did. I just thought it was
30
just
points.
And remember, defendants and co-defendants, as well as the IC were named. Individual people inside in the IC.
I didn't hear the news. I just thought I heard somebody said judicial review.
Because he can't sue the IC, he sued the three individual, the three directors.
Exactly, that's what right. You can't sue the IC, but those three people, that's why they summoned them.
That's why he did. If you're listening to, that's what he said.
Right.
He said.
One of them was cited for impartiality. That's what was said.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hear that. Another question that I wanted to ask Ken, being as you're an auditor, I noticed in the report there was a section where they said that they use that difference of the $1.9 million that is being questioned. That is around $12,000 US. And where he said they use a exchange rate to come to a decision. Could that be the difference between those two accounts? Because if they're using an exchange rate that they came up with. If he got a preferential rate based on the amount,
set rate, yeah.
If he got a preferential rate based on the amount that was being cashed in, and you use a lower rate, then you will come at an outstanding or a higher rate. You would have a surplus.
But that's that's true. But that's from the calculation I did. It's because what the 1.9 million is from different, like when he calculates the foreign exchange, he gets not a very substantial amount.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If they hold on to, let me see if I can find it. If they use that exchange rate to come to a decision, right, of how much it breaks down, because I think that it was around 200 million Jamaican dollar was the total amount of transfer, all right?
Yeah.
And when they so that means that 200 million must be coming from a US because they right. So what I'm saying, up in the when they did the calculation for the exchange rate, I know that when you have a bulk of US like that, the bank gives you a preferential rate.
Preferential rate, that's true.
Correct. So what I'm saying, did they get access to that preferential rate, or they just came up? Because it didn't say that they used the bank preferential rate if he got one. They didn't say that.
Rate. And
correct.
How long ago did it happen? And
that's what exactly. So if he got a preferential rate and they're using a higher rate, which we don't know, higher than the preferential rate, then you have a surplus.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm looking for that page right now to read it to you, and I'm like, this is where
the old thing is everything is like miscalculation.
Exactly.
And misappropriation of different
but
things.
it's a whole part tampering going with the numbers, brother. Whole part tampering.
Marcia, reading the report, Marcia, and trying to figure out the numbers, you're going to be very confused because from beginning, they start miscalculating everything. Everything is off. Miscalculating. It's totally off. Even I went on this guy live this morning. Them used to talk all kind of crap. I mean, yeah, one of them literally come out and say, you know what, just let it be, because they literally find out say the report itself is a bull crap. It's 131 pages of toilet paper, and it doesn't make any sense. You understand? People, a lot of them never know it, because this is the thing. They know that Jamaicans doesn't like to read, majority. They just like to run with the narrative, just like run with a story when them hear. And now them surprised to realize that so many people I read and I try analyze the thing and I understand, because remember, you know, they've been trying to go off Andrew Holness from 2016. Over in this, in house, in this and that, and them realize this thing not work, and them not work, and them still a do it, It's like them not learn, but this time they go too far.
But if they are so naive to think that they're not intelligent people, or let's say bright people like themselves in Jamaica, that is very, very naive of them to think that, you know, people are not gonna auditors and people who does accounting gonna be looking at it and say,
Marcia, let me say this. Yes, over the weekend I had conversation with 2 PMP supporters on 2 different levels. One of them, the moment I call him, the first thing come out of my mouth was, 28 account. Oh, one man have 28 account. And I tell him, say, listen to me, stop reason. Me say, he's a working man. Stop reason like one little boy on the corner.
Exactly.
And we get with that. Next, me call one next PMP supporter. This one is an educated man. Somebody who is in a management position, who is also a businessman. So when I call him, I tell him about the conversation with the first one. Say, what the man say? And him say, listen to me. You're not going to hear nobody with sense talk nothing about bank account. Anybody here talk about bank account at Igla, and the little jing bang followers them.
It's true.
Yeah? Okay. And that is the difference.
Right.
The little jing bang followers them who no one don't know to life but $20 I want special in the morning. And then me I go here at
but remember, we had a pin. Oh yeah, I'm over. Remember, we had a guy who professed to say he's JLP, and he came on the live and he said, you know, I'm a big supporter of JLP, but I can't believe how come him one have 28 accounts. So me say, but boss, you have how much?
The moment you hear that, you no longer associate them with jail.
Right. But listen to this. So I asked him, I said, boss, how many accounts you have? He said, him have one. So me say, but you can't have one. You must have a checking and savings. The man look at me and tell me, say, him don't know about no checking account. Him only have one saving account.
He can't read.
Exactly. So I said, there you go. So you have one account, but did you know when you open that, if you borrow money from the bank, it's an account?
Yeah.
Did you know if when you sign your name for anything in the bank, credit card, you create an account? You say never know that there's something there. So the average people who doesn't understand the financial education in terms of finance would think that a 28 savings or checking account the man have.
But Marcia, when reading the report, it's only amount to 9 accounts, you know. Because
exactly, I read that too.
And it's not, they're not some for me was 3 years old.
But they went through 28. They said it was 9 accounts they looked at, but they went through 28 accounts.
Oh, that the thing that.
But just come up here for say this. Good evening, everybody. He said he wants to be publicly exonerated.
Yes.
And he said, what else him say? He said about the bank accounts like they should have not been made public.
Correct.
He also said that in 2021 they found nothing wrong with the statutory declaration, so they should have certified it. And they commingled everything, so which caused the whole confusion. He said they breach his privacy.
Yes, I thought so too. And his parents.
And what else? And
his parents' privacy.
Yeah, so
they can bring.
I remember.
Actually, thinking about it now, the parents can bring a lawsuit against the IC. The parents can bring a lawsuit against the IC for breach of privacy.
I hope they do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you think of even that woman, the account manager, she can bring a lawsuit against them for breach of privacy.
That's what he's saying.
Yes.
He's saying they never found anything wrong with his account details, so they shouldn't have made it public. Basically, he specifically mentioned the 4 bank accounts.
Yes.
So we know say him go after that because
of course
basically I'm parents. You know, so he specifically said that. Play the clip, Chuck. You can play it. I can send it to you.
Send it to me right now. I'm gonna play it.
Hold on.
All right, hold on. I think I have it here.
And do they have a breach of privacy in Jamaica? There you go.
Jamaica Foundation Limited.
Here's the clip, guys.
Have filed in the Supreme Court an application for permission to apply for judicial review in the matter concerning the Prime Minister's statutory declarations and that report into his statutory
Go ahead.
The Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, Imperium Holdings Limited, Positive Media Solutions Limited, and Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited have filed in the Supreme Court an application for permission to apply for judicial review in the matter concerning the Prime Minister's statutory declarations and that report into his statutory declarations tabled in the House of Representatives a few days ago. This is a long document. The Prime Minister and those 3 companies, Positive Media Solutions, Positive Jamaica Foundation, and Imperium Holdings Limited, the 3 companies that were the center of focus and attention by the Integrity Commission. Those are the 4 applicants. The respondents, Craig Beresford, Kevon Stephenson, and the Integrity Commission. Holness and the companies, they want leave to be granted for a judicial review of the failure and or refusal of Craig Beresford to act impartially, fairly, and independently to carry out his statutory duty to examine the 2022 and the 23 statutory declarations of Andrew Holness pursuant to the Integrity Commission Act. Holness wants a judicial review of the decision to continue or keep the investigation for illicit enrichment open in relation to his 2021 declarations, notwithstanding findings or conclusions that for that year his liabilities were greater than his assets to the tune of $10.46 million, or otherwise there was no unexplained growth in his net worth. He wants judicial review of the decision to embark on, continue, or keep the investigation open into his 2022 declarations, notwithstanding findings or conclusions that for that year his liabilities were greater than his assets to the tune of 5.3 million Jamaican dollars. He wants a judicial review of the failure the finding by Kevon Stephenson, or the decision in all the circumstances that Andrew Holness's lawful objection as contained in his responses and from his attorneys on his behalf, including in the letter of the 16th of July 2024, is a refusal to provide information which inhibited his ability to make a comprehensive and final assessment of the first applicant's assets, liabilities, and income. Remembering, of course, that Holness is the first applicant. He wants a judicial review of what he says is the impermissible commingling of the relationship and or functions of and amongst the divisions of the Commission and the Commission, resulting in a conflict of interest and or abdication of the duty of the respondents, Beresford, Stephenson, and the Integrity Commission when exercising their statutory functions. He wants a judicial review of the failure of Stephenson and the Integrity Commission to recommend and or issue a public exoneration of culpability on the termination of their first investigation of Holness's 2021 declarations as required by Section 54.5, while improperly including its details in the report of August 30, 2024, such that the benefit of exculpation is lost. Exculpation, of course, means free from blame or guilt. He wants a judicial review of the misuse of his private information by disclosing that private information in a manner that is prejudicial to his rights and interests. He wants a judicial review of the Integrity Commission's misuse of Section 36(3) of the Integrity Commission Act to table a special report in Parliament and make improper and unlawful recommendations to Parliament and or the FID and Tax Administration Jamaica. He wants a judicial review of the findings and or conclusion that there is a potential conflict of interest between him, Andrew Holness, and Norman Brown, who is the chairman of both the Housing Agency of Jamaica and the UDC. And he asks for several orders. Order of certiorari, court process, of course, that seeks a judicial review of a decision by a government entity. He also wants an order of mandamus, which is a court order that requires a government official or entity to perform a legal duty or refrain from illegal action. He wants a declaration that the submission of the reports to Parliament, save for the matters referring to the 4 accounts for tabling, was unlawful and or illegal, having regard to the full terms and effects of Section 54 of the Integrity Commission Act. People, it's a long document. I'm just going through some of the highlights of what he has asked for, what he has cited as the wrong done to him by the Integrity Commission as a body, by Craig Beresford and by Kevon Stephenson, and joining him as applicants in this application to the Supreme Court is Imperium Holdings Limited, Positive Media Solutions, and Positive Jamaica Foundation. This action was filed in the Supreme Court September 30 this year. We will have much more in subsequent newscasts. Today, the Prime Minister said he was going to court. He has gone to court. The Integrity Commission will have some big questions to answer in court regarding the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. And what he says is their failure to approve, authorize, to sign off on his 2021 declarations, while using those 2021 declarations to commingle it with subsequent investigations when the 2021 should have been signed off on, and whatever else left as is. He says that commingling makes the public believe that the 2021 declarations are still in dispute, when he says the evidence shows that he did nothing wrong and that should have been authorized. He says that the Integrity Commission misused their power and are abusing their power by not so certifying. So it's all happening from here. That's the breaking news this morning.
But the big question.
The big question here now, not cutting your master, but the big question here now, and this is the part where it's going to be very juicy. You understand? What is the cost? How much money Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, and his followers paid those 3 goons to do? What is it that they did, or what?
Well, we know that they did collect $750,000 every month in a cash, So we just need to find out how much money they go collect that $750,000 there, and we can know how much money.
Let me tell you something. There is this phrase that I think I was about 17 when I booked up on the phrase. I don't remember where I see it. Probably on newspaper. And it says, I will not prostitute my integrity Hear what it said? I will not prostitute my integrity. These persons have put every single thing on the line. Everything. No reputation no left. No integrity no left in them. And that is it.
A quick question. So he can sue them, correct? As he's the government. But his company are entities. They're companies that have a existence for themselves, correct?
Yes, yes.
So chances,
in my opinion, yes.
So chances are, because they're incorporated, are they incorporated or?
Yes, they're all incorporated companies.
Right, and if the company is incorporated, is an entity separate from you personally, so chances are they could get around a lawsuit for the company, not him personally. The company could sue him, who could sue the government for that, because the company act as an individual person.
Yeah, that's what definitely going to happen. And Joan is going to sue them. But the companies, if you listen to it,
exactly.
Does that part where you hear they're saying that including the IC as well. So the companies there, the companies
exactly.
Yeah, and
because
their behalf.
Because he can't sue them, because if he sues them, then he's suing himself, which is the government. But in terms of the companies, that's why he asked for an apology, to clear his name. That's all he might be able to ask for. But in terms of the company would be able to put a lawsuit for whatever damages that happened there. So it's not looking good.
Man, it looks good. What do you mean it's not looking good? It looks sweet. Because guess what? The People's National Party, they're not relevant anymore. And as Currency has said that the Jamaica Labour Party will turn how much Hope Road in a museum. They need to understand that they're dinosaurs. They need to just go on. They're not in existence anymore. You have one person that put in the country forward, that let Jamaica be the shining star. And they're coming to tear down this man. Them dinosaurs need to go look some place, something, because them time gone.
Well, what is coming out of all of this is that you cannot abuse your power on behalf of somebody and get away with it, because you think you have money or you have this power for yourself, so you can bring them somebody because you disagree with the person philosophy or whatever he's doing, not thinking that, chances are you're going to be, or because you think you're a judge or they think they're a judge, they're above the law. I am the law. And this is why I will always hesitant to go to the Caribbean Court of Justice over the Supreme Court. I will always, because the Caribbean Court of Justice, people who know each other, is going to be the same Caribbean judges them and the same lawyers them who will come up and make decision. Now, they can call their friend and say, yo, how you doing, Mass Bakra, whatever it is. There's a case coming up. That's it. He say, okay, not a problem. When you go to the Supreme Court, you can't call Mass Bakra over there. Your case is assigned with no prejudice. And this is the danger that people are scared of still with the Caribbean Court of Justice, is because they're the same people who practice law in the different Caribbean countries going to be selected to be the judge on the bench.
And this is
All Boys Club.
I'm not going far from this, but this is the reason why I think the CCJ should not be the final court of Jamaica. You understand? Because these are the things the PMP corrupt and them go all over the place, go corrupt everywhere. And these are the things, you see where it come down to the IC literally has show up themselves, and it has show up so bad. And it is good what is happening to them, but it look bad on Jamaica. You understand? Knowing that the system itself.
And that's why I said it's bad. That's why I said it's bad. Exactly. When you look at it, that angle is bad.
Really and truly, exactly. It is sad in that department.
Unfortunately, you know what it comes out to be? You know what it is? It's like a coup was being performed.
Exactly. You understand? And it is sad if the IC they can do this. You understand? And they're going around and pretending that they're good and they're this and they're that. This is the reason, you know, when Jamaica become a republic, this is the reason why I think the CCJ should not be Jamaica final court. No way, shape, or form. Because the PMP have them agents all over the place. And the same thing will happen now will happen again. You understand? And keep on and prove to show that, look, you just need to get rid of the old people them and get some new people from Greece or some place to come do these things.
You see the point. Why I said it's a coup. Why I use that strong word coup.
Big chance, you know, people, please.
Just let me just finish this point and then you can come in after clean green. Let me explain why I use the word coup. Remember when the report came out or it was tabled, right? Nationwide got information about it, and Nationwide was saying, in the end, they were saying that there were only $1.9 million. Dayton Campbell came and says there was a lot more, right? And before that, before it even was tabled or came out, they keep saying the government must resign. Must resign. So what was in it that they knew why they were demanding? So when you think of everything that is happening now, it was like a coup that was happening without happening.
You should. I want you to call. In fact, here's what I want you to do. When you call, 1 second, please. I just want to just plant a seed here. I want to plant it at this juncture. We can always go off any angle at when we finish. But you see, the master plan of the so-called Orange Army, or the PMP. Remember, you know, I want to just look back that 18 and a half years that was served. It wasn't just served because people wanted to have the PMP there. It was served because how badly they demonized Edward Seaga. And Mr. Seaga, in his good heart, I know that he have a lot of things to offer to this country, would not, of course, relent from continuing to be the leader of the JLP. Some people blame him for it, say him should have let it go from when. I'm not going to go into that debate, but I'm just saying that the effect of demonizing the leader to that extent where it becomes like domestic news is very, very crucial to what the PMP would want. Because I can tell you guys, I'll say this now, if this man wasn't standing up like I'm standing up now, like standing up like a beacon, rising up like a zenith out of the ashes, or phoenix out of the ashes, as the term would be, it would also mean a serious post Andrew Holness era if this is allowed to go through. I want to understand it's not just a win this election plan. It's a bigger plan than that. Because it worked with Mr. Seaga. So I just want to plant that seed there until you can continue the discussion. But it's a right with said from you understand?
Clean. Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck, your hand. Yeah, Chuck. Would I love you find one? Yeah, when you find a clipping. You remember when Mark Golden spoke about getting dead people vote?
Yes.
He mumbled something at the end. And him said, because we are PNP and we have the power. Would I love you find a clipping there and play? Because this is telling. They are PNP and they have the power because they put people in places, as Aluna Sambat said. But Muda want to play that clip in there and listen to the last part there. And then you see why all this happened, because they have people planted everywhere.
Including in the courts.
Remember, you know, it is an election year, you know. This year, the ending of it, because right at the present moment, it's only 2 months remaining in the year, right? And it's an election here. And this is what the PMP, they always do. Whenever I come on to election year, they always try to play this chess game. Apparently, they don't know how to do it. They really don't know how to play chess. You understand? Them every way.
Jamaica must watch
Jamaica must make their assessment about those who are seeking to do what they try to do. Madam Speaker, I would just like to add, because it is quite clear that this motion that the leader of the House is bringing was not appropriate, having come here. To the best of my understanding, as you say, Madam Speaker, when you were sitting, and as member from Southwest, St. Catherine pointed out, the motion must come to the clerk for you, Madam Speaker, to be able to assess whether or not it is appropriate. And I think, Madam Speaker, it was deliberate that it came just at the time the House is about to sit, expecting that you would sign off, and so that you would not have the opportunity to see if the motion was appropriate. So the idea of they sending it by email and then bringing it to the House just about the time when the House is sit was to ambush you, Madam Speaker. And I say, Madam Speaker, it is quite clear they intended to do that so they can walk out for a headline. And that is all I think, Madam Speaker, they hope to achieve.
So members, I am going to move to the next item on the agenda. I did not see any items on notices of motions given orally here on our agenda. Questions and answers to questions, motions that may be made at the commencement of public business requiring notice, motions relating to the sitting of the House, motions for leave to introduce bills, presentation of bills without leave of the House, first obtained.
Madam Speaker, I now move for the suspension of the standing orders to enable me to introduce and have read the first time a bill shortly entitled the Judicial Rules of Court Amendment Act 2024.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? The ayes have it.
Madam Speaker, I now move that a bill shortly entitled the Judicial Rules of Court Amendment Act 2024 be read a first time.
A bill shortly entitled the Judicial Rules of
Yes,
Court
trigger them walk out.
2024 read the first time.
Madam Speaker, I beg to give notice of second reading of the bill.
Public business.
It is intended that the Minister of Justice will take the measure to its final stages.
I would then never come back.
Ask Madam Speaker to give notice that at a later stage today I will move for the suspension of the standing orders to enable me to take second reading of the bill and to take it through all its concluding stages.
Thank you, Minister.
So at public business, Madam Speaker, I now move for the suspension of the standing orders to enable me to take second reading of the bill, notice of which I gave earlier, and also for me to take it through all its concluding stages.
House Leader.
Speaker, a slight preemption in that regard. But
Minister, please turn your mic off. Thank you.
Yes, so Madam Speaker, we can move forward in the agenda as per your direction, and later to allow the Minister to conclude his presentations and take the bill through its final stages.
Thank you, House Leader. Referral of Private Bills Committee. We'll ask the Deputy Speaker to go first. Go ahead, Deputy Speaker.
Madam Speaker, a private bill shortly entitled the International Church of the Foursquare Gospel in Jamaica, Incorporation and Vesting Act 2024 has been presented to this Honorable House. The standing orders of this House of Representatives stipulates at order number 85, subsection 7, that private bills must be referred to a special select committee. However, before this can take place, the bill must be read a second time. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the chairman of the Private Bills Committee, I now therefore move that a bill entitled An Act for the Incorporation of the International Church of the Foursquare Gospel in Jamaica and the vesting of properties in the body so incorporated be now read a second time.
The question is that the bill be read a second time. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Clerk.
A bill entitled An Act for the Incorporation of the International Church of the Foursquare Gospel in Jamaica and the vesting of property in the body so incorporated read a second time.
Thank you, Clerk. Deputy Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I now move, be it resolved that a bill entitled An Act for the Incorporation of the International Church of the Foursquare Gospel in Jamaica and the vesting of property in the body so incorporated.
Alright, so apparently the PMP then take up their marble and gone at the yard. And the people in business are continue.
Them shouldn't, the PMP shouldn't do that in the first place because they don't want, they don't have Jamaica best interest at heart. God say no.
Then go call Parliament out the road again.
No, that they want to man the headline. The head is all about the headline, you know. And because as you know, say somebody was telling me that somebody was doing a live broadcast from the TVJ newsroom. And when you look around the newsroom, you see pictures of the entire shadow cabinet put up in there. And whenever somebody picture is put up in a newsroom, it means that these persons are priority. So if you see the shadow cabinet picture put up in the newsroom, it means that whatever you see coming from these people must be immediately moved to the front. That is what it means when you have people picture put up in your newsroom. Right? So yes, them do that. Just forget the headline. That's all them want, the headline. That's all them want. So as I said this, I said it before, I say it again, you know. The people them were up on the fence who claim say them abstain from the system. Right? The future of the country is in our hands. Some are old enough, who live through the 90s, who see what Mark Golding and Peter Bunting do to the country. And at the time when they did it, they didn't have the real power in them hand. Right? They had the years of power back then. Now, a FIDEM signature is what matters now. So we see what they did when they have the years of power. Imagine now when it's FIDEM signature, I'm going to move the table. Imagine now when Mark Golding have to go to Omar Davis and say, beg you sign off on this for me. He can do it himself. Right? Let me find back Meshach Williams' story and play it for them so could understand the magnitude of where we are run from. Alright, let me find back Meshach Williams' story because most of the young people them when we speak of FinSac, they don't understand the magnitude. And I said most of them didn't listen to Mr. Willis the other day.
These puzzles can only be solved
Mr. Willis' story.
or a psychopath. They express your intelligence type.
The Financial Sector Adjustment Company, or FinSac, was created by the People's National Party, and its intervention was supposed to save Jamaica from economic disaster. But instead, it left us with long-term wounds.
Even my children, them sometimes them confused because they've never used to this kind of life.
After working hard for several years to build his dream house, he was thrown out in an instant. The FinSac entrepreneur claims his house, which was valued at between $9 and $11 million, was offloaded by FinSAC for just $3.5 million.
By shutting down numerous banks, consolidating them into a single entity, and selling that entity to foreign interests, FinSAC reshaped the Jamaican economy, often to the detriment of local stakeholders. So in this video, we'll dive into the inception of FinSAC, the economic conditions leading to its creation, the banks it shut down, the scandals and lawsuits that followed, and how these actions culminated in the consolidation and eventual sale of Jamaican banks to foreign interests. Like the video and let's proceed. Economic boom and bust. The late 1980s and early 1990s, a time when Jamaica was basking in economic glory. The economy was booming, life was good, and prosperity was the order of the day. But like all good things, it was too good to last. By the early 1990s, Jamaica was hit by high interest rates, rampant inflation, and a classic case of economic mismanagement. The Bank of Jamaica's reserves were as dry as a desert, and the once glorious banking environment was teetering on the brink. Between 1991 and 1995, inflation averaged over 40% annually, and interest rates soared above 42%. Now, talk about a recipe for disaster. The creation of FinSAC. Now enter FinSAC, or a knight in shining armor, or so we would have thought. Established in 1997 under the watchful eye of the People's National Party, or PNP, FinSAC was supposed to be the era that would save us from financial doom. Their mandate? Stabilize the financial sector that was collapsing faster than a house of cards. But instead of saving the day, FinSAC's interventions left Jamaica with long-term scars that still haunt us today.
Mr. Poyser is a real estate developer who says he borrowed $9 million to help fund the housing development. But like other entrepreneurs bitten by the FinSAC bug, he saw his debt ballooning out of control.
Now, let's take a look at the first wave of closures. One of the first victims of FinSAC's rescue mission was Century National Bank, led by Don Crawford. Century was accused of mismanagement, and the politically motivated actions led to the bank's assets being frozen and taken over. Century National Bank's closure was just the beginning of FinSAC's takeover spree.
I've indicated, well, firstly, FinSAC is indeed the big black bear that we have never seen before. They're like the great white shark, and it's hungry. And they have overlooked all aspects of principle, decency, honesty, transparency, integrity, and they have maintained a very vicious profile from the very beginning. What they did to Century in itself, without prejudice to the other victims, is a colossal disaster. We are undoubtedly the biggest victims.
FinSAC did not stop there. Their list of casualties grew to include Eagle Commercial Bank, Workers Savings and Loan Bank, Citizens Bank, Island Victoria Bank, Citizens Merchant Bank, Corporate Merchant Bank, and Island Life Merchant Bank. These banks, already on life support due to severe liquidity problems and deposit runs, were put out of their misery by FinSAC's intervention. But who needs stability when you really have chaos? No. Here are some of the businesses and individuals affected by FinSAC. The ripple effects of FinSAC's actions extended far beyond the banks themselves. Countless businesses and individuals found themselves caught in the crossfire of the financial sector's collapse. The businesses. Eagle Financial Network. This conglomerate, which included Eagle Commercial Bank and other financial services, was dismantled under FinSAC's watch. The disintegration of Eagle's businesses resulted in significant job losses and a blow to investor confidence. Workers' Savings and Loan Bank. Workers' Savings and Loan Bank closure affected numerous small and medium enterprises that relied on its services for loans and financial support. The sudden unavailability of credit stifled business growth and expansion plans. Island Life Insurance Company. One of the largest insurers in Jamaica, Island Life's financial stability was undermined by FinSac's interventions. The company struggled to honor policies and faced a loss of trust among policyholders. Individuals affected by FinSac's action. Don Crawford, the founder of Central National Bank, Crawford, faced allegations of...
You see, like I said, it was really a plan from day one.
Crawford, the founder of Central National Bank, Crawford, faced allegations of mismanagement and saw his life's work dismantled. He was left to battle legal accusations and attempt to clear his name amidst a storm of controversy. Carl Wright, the head of Eagle Financial Network, witnessed the disintegration of his company's financial empire. He faced not only the loss of his business, but also reputational damage and legal challenges. Also, ordinary Jamaicans were affected. The broader Jamaican public, including depositors, employees, and small business owners, suffered immensely. Many saw their savings wiped out, their jobs lost, and their businesses falter due to the financial instability caused by FinSac's actions. Lawsuits and scandals. And let's not forget the drama. Don Crawford and other bank owners weren't going down without a fight. They alleged conspiracy, unfair treatment, and politically motivated actions. Lawsuits flew left and right, painting a picture of a financial sector mired in scandal and mismanagement. However, we can't have a financial crisis without a little bit of courtroom drama, though. Consolidation into Union Bank. In a move that was supposed to bring stability, FinSac merged the assets of the failing banks into
Yes, Green. Paul Chen Young was Eagle Group.
This Frankenstein's monster of a bank was supposed to be stronger and more resilient. But, as you guessed, it wasn't. The consolidation process was a mess, and the confidence in the banking sector continued to plummet. Sale to RBTT. In 2001, the Union Bank of Jamaica was sold to the Royal Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, RBTT. Critics saw this as the ultimate betrayal, a loss of Jamaican financial sovereignty as control of our banks was handed over to foreign interests. Because nothing screams economic independence like selling your banks to another country. Impact on the economy. The aftermath of FinSac's actions was a far-reaching economic disaster. Job losses, reduced access to credit, and a massive loss of confidence in the financial system were just the tip of the iceberg. Entrepreneurs and investors watched their fortunes evaporate, and the ripple effects of these actions are still felt today. The entrepreneurial spirit of Jamaicans was crushed, and a culture of risk aversion took root among new generations of professionals. FinSac was created by the People's National Party, and its intervention was supposed to save Jamaica from economic disaster. But instead, it left us with long-term wounds. By shutting down numerous banks, consolidating them into a single entity, and then selling that entity to foreign interests, FinSac reshaped the Jamaican economy, often to the detriment of local stakeholders. We really did have to repeat that. The legacy of these actions underscores the complexities and challenges of managing a national financial crisis without causing long-term harm to the economy and its citizens. So much.
And Petal, what was the name of the lawyer that represented the Jamaica Redevelopment Company in them case again?
Sandra Minot Phillips.
Sandra Minot Phillips, the wife of Dr. Peter Phillips. That was the lawyer that took people to court and have them properties ripped away from them. There? That was the lawyer that took people to court and have them property ripped away and sold for pennies and the dollar. So when I sit down, I tell them every day and I say FinSac was not it was not accident, you know. It was one of the biggest robbery in the history of the world. when Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, Omar Davis robbed Jamaican and Jamaicans. Held us up at 10 point and robbed us. Right? It was not an accident, it was an orchestrated plan. Right? And as me say, them setting up again to come back and do the same.
So that is the reason, you know, Chuck. That is the reason why I keep on pleading and I keep on begging Jamaican people, both young, old, whosoever can vote. Please, this election, that the general election that's supposed to call next year or whenever it call, whenever the Honorable Prime Minister feel it fit to call the election. I'm begging Jamaican people, please, this is the most important election in Jamaican history. I cannot emphasize on this. You understand? This election is a very key. It is so important. This election is the brink of where Jamaica. Is it that Jamaica going to stand or will Jamaica fall? That's just it. Because believe me, the People's National Party is a destruction. You understand? And those people are like a nuclear weapon. You understand? And I am begging the Jamaican people, please, don't just sit down and talk about Andrew Holness are going to win because the poll, Andrew Holness, this and Andrew Holness popular. No. Go out, cast your vote.
Cast your vote.
Then you can talk about Andrew. If you do not cast your vote, you don't, make no sense you come talk. And this is not one set of people when I don't want to hear them say nothing at all to me. You know, one set of people I don't want to hear say nothing at all to me. Chuck, these people will talk about them not vote at all. Them no want to vote, them no business with politics. Don't come and say nothing at all to me, because guess what? When the country screw over and the policies that the no government put into place were supposed to help you in the future, help you, them are gone totally, and then you go complain to government now do nothing. So I don't want to hear nothing at all from you. You understand? Only time
more people, you know, Mario,
unless you go and vote.
The loudest, you know.
You know, last night, you know, Chuck, no, sorry for cut you. Last night I went into work and I have to sign in to your step on the people property, and the security guard looked at me and said, "What do your finger?" I say, "What do my finger?" Oh, he looks at me and say, "You mean because I'm voting ink on it?" "Yeah, man, I go vote." "You vote?" I say, "Yes." I say, she said,
make that breaking news now.
So what so make it up? Oh, that benefit me. They said the very road let me take come on my work right now. Not even one patrol in the party. I want to you.
All right.
Go on, talk. Go on.
Yes. Blessed evening to everybody. Them just Mark Golding and just walk out of Parliament a while ago, you know, because then table one motion on the table where when the House Speaker supposed to get up and go take him 2 minutes what arrest and then table it just in time. And then when the House speaker come, them want the House Speaker to read a certain chapter wherein it couldn't work, and because them couldn't get the House Speaker said, "No, me supposed to read through this because it's supposed to come 2 days. It's supposed to reach here 2 days that me can read through it to answer the question. Oh, you want me to answer question where you choose and me not read the paper." And then walk out.
Delroy, we did a broadcast Parliament at the time, but thanks for the update.
All right, blessed. Look a bit then.
All right.
Good.
But as I said, the PMP know exactly what to do to grab the headlines. And if people don't see the value in going to cast them vote, then boy, we're sorry for them. Right?
Chuck.
Go on, Churchill.
Sorry. The point must also be made that it was because of the incompetence of the PNP government to manage the finances of the country. They didn't have any money, any US currency. And what they did, they went on the street, they got money in a car back.
Yes,
go on the street to buy US dollars at a higher rate than what people were paying. So it cost the country more. And that money was stolen. You don't remember that the party? There was money that was stolen and they could not account for it.
Yes, man. About must it about $2 million because you know that is what it costs. That a part of the bill up the FinSac, you know. When you have that thing what we call the US dollar scandal.
Yes, because them a go up on the street, go buy US dollar. Because they could never have US dollar to do what they want to do.
People are going to the Bank of Jamaica and load up them car trunk with cash.
Yeah, but remember, you know, Chuck, even in a part in St. Anne, I don't want to call it, some man used to dip on the roadside, you can go and go sell them your US. You understand?
The same person I don't get the robbery take place.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to call certain place. You understand?
I don't get the robbery take place.
And it is just sad to see them literally come out now and talk about corruption. It is really sad, you know. It's so much sad.
It just show that is a party shop then when I run. Them don't know where they when I do. Right? And that caused the whole problem. The high interest rate that this government was paying and the high cost it was paying for dollars to run the country. Them don't know how to help this. And that point must be made to the Jamaican people. Those points need to come out. That they don't know how to manage the country's finance. Compared to what we have done under the Nigel Clark Ministry of Finance. There's no comparison whatsoever. So them points they have to be elaborated.
Churchill, me still believe say the FinSac was a planned and executed.
It was an executional plan. That plan was
never accident.
Another accident that, Chuck, because right after, if you guys checking it, right after these things were supposed to pay out, they sell out and do every stupid thing that was supposed to do.
They sell it out at that time. It already served its purpose.
Exactly. So that's the great Josh. Long time in a year, you man. Me, Josh, come on, man. Long time in a year, you. What happened?
Man, I mix with poor people.
God. I saw it going out, Josh. Me can't believe. I tell me what go on.
I do like Market G. I look for my top on Irish friend them alone.
All right, Churchill. Bless up yourself.
Pump on the live with food in your mouth.
No, man, actually.
What a man can eat, man. Just like I eat so. God.
I'm sorry. Man, always catch me when me eating. Good afternoon, everyone.
Blessed love, sir. Go do your wagwan.
I am here, I've been listening to the fruitful discussion, even though I just came in. And one thing is clear, even though I didn't hear a lot, is that the PNP don't know how to manage the country. They never have, never will, because the philosophy, the ideology that they subscribe to is unworkable. And it has failed worldwide. The only two that seem to have reaped success is Singapore and China. And it's because they mix it with capitalism. But
welcome to the first in a series of news magazine podcasts. Get the facts.
yeah, it's because they mix it with capitalism. But socialism, communism has never worked, because what the tenets of socialism, according to them, means that every man is equal. But it doesn't hold true to what it preaches, because while they're saying every man is equal, some of the richest men in the world come from out of the socialist communist bloc. Some of the billionaires, the czars, and they're from Russia, from China. So how is it that you're claiming that equality for all, yet you manage to have billionaires while you still have the poorest of the poor within your country? And so they preach one thing and then practice another. And then the other thing is that you're taking money that is unavailable to hand it to people. When you do that,
any money that is spent has to come from somewhere and someone has to pay for it. You know, so that is why the People's National Party will never be a successful manager of this country. Never, ever. Right? Because of the ideology that they subscribe to. Right? That's my...
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Clean green.
I said Joshua James, I shout you.
Oh, how are you, my billionaire friend Godson? You're one of them who get billions.
I am good, you know. But we just gotta say to you, say, make sure we are eat cook.
We always eating. Joshua, welcome.
Yeah, but make sure we might eat cook.
The lady name that will be on Chaps Media this week is Lola Gray Baker.
All right, so people, quickly, I'm going to say this, Chuck. Everyone listen. I'm going to go over with me now after this. Today, again, Marky G let her walk out of the house because he didn't get his own way and he tried to breach a standing order. He tried to bring a private motion, but before Juliet could hear it, it looked like she forgot to the bathroom or something, but she said, just give me a moment. And she stepped down, Eli Clark come up. So Marky G started to speak. He started out by saying the code of conduct that the cabinet are what? I don't remember the word, like him that say are bound by. And the Prime Minister never report say he was being investigated. So Eli Clark stop him. And him sit down. No, we never stand up on a point of order. Colonel Charles Jr. stand up on a point of order and let him know that if you come here to subjudicate anything and you're going down that road, it won't be entertained today. So Charles sit down back. He might try, no. Eli Clark now start to talk after Charles and say, listen, read out the standing order and a previous ruling or saying, and him read it out and make him know. So in essence, him I tell him, say, that way him come with won't be entertained. So him get up now like what day when him a question, when they report them, they come in, when Eli Clark, they tell him, say, you cannot question the Prime Minister after I'm done Clark because the standing order said it. So Eli Clark I read out section, this, that to him and tell him, say, why that motion won't be entertained. And then they try Eli Clark say, it won't happen. And then they still and Charles get up again on a point of order and tell him, say, it now go happen because them swear him go. The man just start take up him papers and walk out of the house. Right? After I'm gone, Mr. Holness come back. So Mr. Holness did not say, she received the motion, but she received it electrically. But no, when they asked her if it was the motion was signed, I can't entertain her, it's a sign. That's a Warmington. And Mr. Holness said, yeah, it was signed.
They bring the motion just before the sitting.
Well, I get to. Him send it during the sitting. So Warmington I make sure no say, listen, even though it's signed, it cannot be entertained because that motion should have been with the clerk of the house from 2 days before. So the House Speaker can go through it to say if it is worthwhile to table that motion. It cannot come on the day of the sitting to come read. And two the man I get him where him lead a walk out again. This is Marky G. And then no Colonel Charles get up and start to talk. I say, I bet you him last dollar. So them downstairs, I try and manipulate the situation by getting on a headline with the media. I bet you, sir, because that is what they used to. Every time of that them do. Because they know what you're doing. They know that this will be entertained. So they will walk out if you go downstairs. If we're going to make it look like say people upstairs not entertain a motion. Marky G need to go and go quick. Yeah. Need to go and go quick. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. He send him condolences that what day. Him said thanks Andrew Holness, but yet still the man come with a motion or try to bring down the man. Yeah, Eli Clark read an article say if it is so, meaning the Andrew Holness issues in court, it cannot be discussed. And with all of that, the man know this thing, the man still a try get in the motion. Oh brother, I don't know going to cook the Jamaica with them the people, you know. Trust me.
But one of the things that Mark going in his whites and feel that he's superior to everybody, you know, because the rest of people in black.
And Richard, like you rightfully said, Charles said, look at this. The leader of the opposition is a liar. The leader of opposition business is a liar who is an experienced veteran of the business and sit there and yeah, yo, hey, I don't want to say it, but me say it. Paul will turn a look up. PUSS. Well, not the good now. I won't even say PUSSY, because that is a good thing. Him come like a campus full of shit.
You can't call him that, man. No do that.
Yeah, that me just say, me take it back, because that a good something. Him is a pampas full of shit to one dump.
Mark, go and have them wrap on a little finger, you know. And
brother,
there is no more sensible people in the PNP party. When I look at KD Knight on Croft, you can imagine.
Yeah, they're a bunch of cowards. Tell them about for pack up bag. You can imagine. Look who them go for too.
KD Knight.
They're looking at people. Now go over, go nationwide, go here, go and continue to do the good work.
Good afternoon, I'm Kevon.
And I'm Robin.
All right.
In nationwide news, this Prime Minister Holness files leave to apply for judicial review of Integrity Commission's report about his statutory declarations.
The Prime Minister accuses the Commission of several breaches, including procedural fairness, illegality, and abuse of power and discretion.
Opposition walks out of the House after attempts to table no confidence motion against the Prime Minister fail.
JLP MP-elect Matthew Samuda calls on Labourites to begin the work of spreading the Holness administration's record of achievements.
Prime Minister Holness praises the Indian government for helping Jamaica in its efforts to create a technologically competent workforce.
In news from the rest of the world, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Iran will pay a price for its missile barrage on Israel.
In headline sports, West Indies women beaten by Australia in final warm-up ahead of T20 World Cup of Cricket.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, the Bank of Jamaica has further reduced its key interest rate by 25 basis points to 6.5%. What does this mean for you and businesses? President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Sidney Thwaites, and economist Keenan Faulkner will tell us.
Also in the cover story, opposition MPs walk out of Parliament after Mark Golding's no confidence motion against the Prime Minister is thwarted. You'll hear what happened.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, what's your reaction to Prime Minister Holness taking the Integrity Commission to court? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
And from 7 till 8 this evening, it's Nature's Remedies with Dr. Denise Daly. Tonight's topic, Ortulase.
At 8, it's Prescription for Life with Dr. Andre McDonald.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide Radio, JM.com, and on the Nationwide app available in Google Play and the App Store. This Tuesday afternoon, it's Tuesday, October 1, 2024.
Guys, I don't want hear me. They just want to hear the headline. I don't want to hear it.
Of course.
Yeah, man, keep going, keep going.
Okay.
Carry out, drive-through, delivery, WhatsApp, or the new KFC Jamaica mobile app. KFC Big Deal. Anything for the taste.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The standoff between the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, and the Integrity Commission concerning his uncertified statutory declarations has taken a major turn. The Prime Minister has gone to the Supreme Court to seek judicial review of the actions, non-actions, and comments made by the Commission and two of its directors, Craig Beresford, and Director of Information and Complaints, and as well as Director Kevon Stephenson, Director of Investigations. The move by Holness relates to the contents of two reports tabled in Parliament and which concern his statutory declarations. The first report is dated August 30, 2024, and the second September 5, 2024. We have more in this report from George Davis.
The application filed on behalf of Prime Minister Holness by his attorneys Henlin Gibson Henlin is stamped September 30, 2024, Civil Division, Supreme Court. It names Holness and 3 of his companies, Imperium Holdings Limited, Positive Media Solutions, and Positive Jamaica Foundation, as the 3 applicants. The 3 companies named are the same 3 flagged by the Integrity Commission as the subject of further investigation. The IC has declared publicly it wants the probe to be done by Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, and the Financial Investigations Division, FID. Beresford, Stephenson, and the Integrity Commission are the 3 respondents. Holness's attorneys have set down 30 points on which they are seeking judicial review. Among them, that Craig Beresford and or the Commission failed to or refused to certify his declarations for 2021 and 22, and or provide reasons for being unable to certify them. That Kevon Stephenson carried out an investigation into the Prime Minister's declarations for 2022 and 2023, although there was no referral for an investigation by Craig Beresford. Holness's lawyers want a judicial review into Kevon Stephenson's finding or decision that the Prime Minister's lawful objection to the request for his detailed expenses is a refusal to provide information, which then inhibited Stephenson's ability to make a comprehensive and final assessment of the Prime Minister's assets, liabilities, and income. They want a review of Stephenson's decision to, in their words, usurp the functions of the court and unlawfully pierce the corporate veil of Imperium Holdings Limited, which, according to them, is a separate legal person in law. They say Stephenson thereafter commingled the assets of the Prime Minister and that of Imperium, and then ascribed to both a combined net worth of $1.9 million for 2022. Holness's lawyers also want judicial review of the decision to continue or keep the investigation open in relation to the Prime Minister's declarations for 2021, notwithstanding findings or conclusions that for the year 2021, there was negative net worth of $10.4 million. This means there was no unexplained growth in the Prime Minister's net worth, which according to the numbers, actually declined by the said $10.4 million. Holness's attorneys also want judicial review of the act or decision to recommend the referral to TAJ and FID, 2 of the 3 companies linked to Holness. Holness's lawyers want the court to rule on the failure by Kevon Stephenson and the Integrity Commission to recommend and or issue a public exoneration of culpability at the point where it ended its investigation into the Prime Minister's declarations for 2021. His lawyers complained to the court that what Stephenson and the IC then proceeded to do was improperly include details of that 2021 probe in the report dated August 30, 2024, an act which they feel robbed Holness of benefiting from being freed of guilt. The filing on Holness's behalf, which runs for 22 pages, goes deep. It sets out 69 grounds on which judicial review is being sought under the headings breach of natural justice and procedural fairness, constitutional breaches, irrationality and unreasonableness, abuse of power, abuse of discretion, illegality, and acting ultra vires. The action by Holness marks the first time the Prime Minister has publicly gone on the front foot to counteract on an issue that has seen him bleed political capital and give Jamaicans cause to question his integrity. George Davis for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has made damning claims against the Integrity Commission, Kevon Stephenson and Craig Beresford in his application for judicial review.
On the front foot.
Reports.
The law firm Henlin Gibson Henlin set down 69 grounds on which the Prime Minister moved to seek judicial review into the report of investigations into his statutory declarations. Point 50 is particularly damning. Holness's lawyers say the tabling of the report was done in bad faith to prejudice and harm him, given that the entire scheme of the Integrity Commission Act is to ensure confidentiality and secure fairness for those who are being legitimately investigated. The big question about whether or not Holness knew he was being probed for illicit enrichment is also dealt with in the 69 grounds for action. At point 42, his lawyers say he was not given the background in relation to the alleged irregularities that were being investigated and was not told the proportion or sum by which his assets were disproportionate to his income. They say he therefore could not fairly and accurately respond to matters that concern the subject matter of the investigation. Holness's lawyers then deal with what they describe as the misuse of the Prime Minister's private information. They accuse the Integrity Commission of disclosing Holness's private information in a manner that is prejudicial to his rights and bringing him into public odium. Public odium is defined as the hatred, disapproval, or dislike that the public feels for a person, usually due to something the person has done. The lawyers also raised the issue of a report from an international forensics expert who spent 6 months poring over the details of Holness's finances. They say Holness was entitled to see and respond to any adverse findings and benefit from any advantageous findings in that report. They say that Holness was not provided with a copy of the report. They accuse the Integrity Commission of broadening the scope of the investigation and setting a moving target for the Prime Minister to hit. Holness's lawyers say the investigation into his 2022 and 2023 statutory declarations was nothing more than a fishing expedition. Kevon Campbell for Nationwide News.
And chaos erupted in Parliament Tuesday afternoon as members of the opposition staged a walkout following a ruling by Deputy Speaker of the House, Heroy Clark. Dramatic turn of events occurred after Clark blocked opposition leader Mark Golding's attempt to table a motion against Prime Minister Holness.
Sorry, guys.
Concerning his statutory declarations. Citing a breach of standing orders, the Deputy Speaker ruled that the matter was sub judice, meaning it was now before the courts. This sparked an uproar. Mahiri Stewart tells us more.
As Parliament turned to members' motions, House Speaker Juliet Holness, who is also the Prime Minister's wife, recused herself from the chamber. Deputy Speaker Clark then assumed the Speaker's chair. He initially allowed opposition leader Mark Golding to introduce his motion, but Mr. Golding's efforts were swiftly interrupted by MP Pernell Charles Jr.
Speaker, whereas there is a ministerial code of conduct in place from 2002 that governs the conduct of members of the cabinet, and whereas the Prime Minister did not inform the people of Jamaica that he was being investigated by the Integrity.
Member, please. I don't even need to hear another word. If a member in any way intends to go down a road that is going to breach the standing orders in raising matters, let me just say it before, that are sub judice, that cannot be accommodated in this house. So if that is the route.
Charles Jr.'s objection was upheld by the Deputy Speaker. He declared Mr. Golding's motion inadmissible because it's now before the courts.
I am saying because there is, when I read from the Erskine May Parliamentary Practice, paragraph 2, page 333, matters awaiting judicial decisions, that the motion relates to a matter that is now before the court, and if it is, because there is a matter now under judicial consideration, it ought not to be discussed as it is sub judice. At this time, I am now ruling that this motion will not be entertained.
Despite Mr. Golding's persistent attempts to argue his case, Clark stood firm in his ruling. This left the opposition frustrated. And in a final act of defiance, opposition members walked out of the chamber in protest.
What we are not because you remember what this motion engages. We simply a matter. We are not a brief. Remember, we are not by the Prime Minister. That's not a matter. Remember, there's
Upon returning to the chamber, House Speaker Holness explained her absence.
A signed copy of the motion came to me at the desk when Member Paulwell came to the desk during the sitting of the Parliament. And I just came out for a moment a while ago and I note the opposition walking out. I was coming back to tell them I'd gone out, because I was just completing my review so that they could go ahead and debate if they so choose. However, even though they heard as much, they continued to walk out.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Charles Jr. slammed the opposition for what he saw as an attempt to misuse the parliament to make headlines.
Madam Speaker, it is unfortunate that the opposition, and I say this with all seriousness, because Jamaica is watching us. It is so unfortunate that the opposition has chosen to walk out on this issue. The opposition is led by an attorney at law who is fully aware that there is no ambiguity in the rule of sub judice. It is a rule that is essential in preventing interference in legal proceedings and preventing the risk of undermining the fairness of any trial or any matter that is before the court being adjudicated.
The government MP says the PNP will seek power at any cost, even the integrity of the parliament.
But what will happen is that they will use it as a tool to attempt to cause persons looking on to think that there is an effort to block the motion. And that is what is unfortunate, the continuous effort to manipulate the minds of Jamaican people. And what I find disgusting is the discussions around integrity by persons who are willing to break down the integrity of this court proceeding for their own pursuit of power. In the pursuit of power, they are willing to breach, destroy, and cast away the rules, the standing orders, the law, anything that has to be done. Tear down people, mash up the country's reputation, all because of the pursuit of power.
Colonel Charles Jr., Member of Parliament for South East Clarendon.
Still ahead, 4 shot and killed in Westmoreland last night. You're listening to Nationwide News at 5. Stay with us.
Yes, sir. When cover story come, we do cover story again.
All right, but guys, now go till 5:30, and then we are gonna switch over to politics and sports. Right, so we are going to the next 15 minutes, and then we switch over to politics and sports.
Okay, politics and sports.
I am getting some information which I need to peruse and then pick some sense out of it. But
talk to us about something.
Philippians, shouldn't you be on a break?
Yes, I am actually reading and
Don't let me get the belt, yeah?
yeah.
Alright, where's it now?
Yeah, I'm going to call you when you get off.
Alright, no problem. No problem. Yeah, man, so the PNP know that whatever they do, the Gleaner will put it on the headline. The Gleaner will give them the headline. The TVJ will give them headline. Then we get Bite of the Week. Then we get all of that. And that is what they are looking, the grandstand.
Hold on.
Underscores a pressing need for accountability and ethical governance. Continuing the news, in a Statutory Code of Conduct established in 2002, which mandates transparency and ethical standards of the cabinet. The PNP says the Prime Minister has come under scrutiny for failing to disclose his investigation by the Integrity Commission.
In other news now, a dark day in the fight against crime in Westmoreland.
Sorry about that. Just because I didn't come in that like a special day. Come back, Chuck.
Oh. Yeah, man. Now, I just the grandstanding to get the headline them want. Right? Them just want the headline. Them know say TVJ we give them. That's alright, man. They don't worry about the walkout. Them soon get put out. Right? Them soon get put out. They not worry about walkout again, you know. The people of Jamaica will soon put them out fully. Jason Patterson, me here, Jason Patterson. Right? But as I say, the campaign with the Jamaica Labour Party. Mr. Patterson.
Yes, sir. What is going on?
We are hearing the fight.
I hear bad news, man. Bad news.
Bad news? What is the bad news?
What kind of bad news?
Huh? Bad news, you push and you walk out, Papa Wissa.
No, what is bad about it? Huh? What is bad
They walk
about
out
it,
by
Mr.
themselves.
Patterson?
Great news, man. Great news,
They
Richo.
walk out by themselves.
I hope that they never return to Parliament ever.
Right. Yeah, man.
True. I want them to walk out for good this trip, you know. Not to return back in.
I hear Dre Brand today with some delusional things, counting seats, and talk about how the PNP gone 29 already and the Labour Party 27, and the Labour Party can only find 9. And me switch because my stomach couldn't take any more of the nonsense.
That's why I don't want to go into people answer.
Where are you over there, sir?
No, me did a for them page. I was on the for them page.
Even everybody.
Leave them the boss. Chuck, me still a try when name the info me nah get. Me don't know who can get out reach out the info. Forget the information that I wanted earlier about Southeast Centre.
Yeah, man. Alright, I'm gonna reach out to him. I said, me get him.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, man, I
we
get him.
need to talk to the gentleman.
Right. But as I said, the campaign has begun. And right now, it's launch out. The Matthew Samuda has now entered the house as Minister Samuda now. MP Samuda. Right.
And of course, they want to tell lie that Matthew has not renounced.
At the end of November, Joshua, me tell you all the while, so when I hear some things, you know, I know everything you know here, you know, if you repeat, you know, sometimes just make it pass through 1 year, man. Right, it's when you repeat some things, Joshua, you give it to a bigger audience.
All right, sir.
Yeah, you further runs the false narrative. So when we have 200 people here, so now you can repeat that. At 200 more people, you give it to.
All right, sir.
So when you hear them foolishness, and you know a foolishness, you just make it pass. You're not going to repeat it to make decent people here. Right? So anyway, I join everybody welcoming Member of Parliament Matthew Samuda. Member of Parliament Matthew Samuda, and that is the big mover we have now. So at the end of this month, we are going to Trelawney. So one man there, Trelawney, build some pit latrine and some 10 by 10 boardhouse I give away.
So Chuck, did the government say that we're going to Trelawney, or was it we who said we're going to Trelawney?
And we say we are going to Trelawney next month.
My correct here, Chuck, is 8 by 10. So I don't know you reach 10 by 10.
Sorry, I thought it was 10 by 10. Right, I said we're going to Trelawney next.
Oh, I just wanted us to clarify that.
Right, and then after Trelawney, we are go up a Dr. Clark. Dr. Clark no resign it, you know, so instead still there.
I was listening to somebody tying them.
No, this month Dr. Clark will leave.
Yeah, the 21st. Now the 30th. How much day that me out? How much day that? Yeah, whenever they in that.
So when you go for Dr. Clark, I thought he would be there to be a
in a minute
the
was brought to you
campaign.
by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC.
Yeah, I'm starting with the 29th and the 31st of this month.
Are you a player or something?
Yeah, I'm listen to Nationwide News, my friend. I remember some media America, so I make it to go to Jamaica and so.
Are we still listening?
No, man, we just stop. No, true, me yesterday killed 4 people on my way the last night, so I want to know.
He was just listening and making a speech at the same time.
Okay. Yes, me that's I'm tired, you know. Yeah, me think Dr. Clark would have helped with the campaigning. So he constituency before he leaves.
He can't help Philippe. I remember same job started 31st of this month.
Yeah, but me think they may have called the election before him leave.
Don't worry yourself about it, man.
Don't worry yourself about that, Philippines.
No, I think about
That's the premature.
He is so busy at the present moment. Dr. Clark is so busy because there are few things that he's trying to get tied up. He might try to fix certain things where even the manifesto that they're working on, they might try to fix all of them stuff. Okay? So there's a lot.
And the what they call it is the budget.
Hold on, gentlemen. Alan and Mario. The things that don't need to be said in public, we don't say it in public. We don't need our opponent to know what is happening behind the
so
scenes.
like say my work on our budget and so. Me feel so.
Well, that he would help to craft, no doubt. But
yeah, man,
the other matters that we don't have to mention in public, we don't mention it. Make our opponents wonder what is happening.
I too, my boss. I too.
Okay, Joshua, respect.
But the thing is also, even when he's away, we can still hear from him. Like, he's just across the street from us.
But Philippines, you know, say I think him still going the correspond with Jamaica, you know, because I think
Jamaica is his country.
I think the new finance minister, whoever he or she be, he must have been in touch with Dr. Nigel Clark, constant base for the man guide him still.
Look here, he's still a member of the party.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he's also still a citizen of Jamaica.
Yes.
But what I see the PNP said out a statement a while ago, me not think me good, but me get to understand said out a statement a while ago after the parliament. But as Pernell say, and that is why I like if you go on these media, because we have been locked down them lies and them gossip and them nonsense. As soon as them put out it, we just lock it down.
You know, I am glad that the Prime Minister, and I had actually suggested it on this live some weeks ago, that the next step the Prime Minister should make is to sue the Integrity Commission and also Kevon, and particularly Kevon Stephenson.
He's suing.
Yeah, man. And he must sue him and bankrupt him. No small amount of suing.
So Joshua, you didn't know he's suing them? He's suing them and his companies are suing them.
Good evening, Mr. Josh.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, he's suing that guy. At one for the IC, he's suing.
Joshua.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't know that he's suing them?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm glad that he's doing that. And I'm saying that I had said it a couple of weeks ago that the next step should be to sue them.
And
so I'm
that's the same thing I said
what I had hope would happen is happening. One moment, I'm going to call from one of my...
The reason I said that to Josh is that the other day I read something where they said they make mistake with the Prime Minister's statutory declaration, and people still underneath you like them say I buy out the Prime Minister buy out. So you see why? That's the main reason why the Prime Minister is sue him to show Jamaica say and I know buy out business. Sue him.
But Sam, not only that, brother, you see when you see the Gleaner Sunday with the threat that they said Stevenson get dirty PNP boy, you must go down.